Hey, good morning, good evening, and good day, whichever time I find you. And here in this little note are the few reasons why you are not dating, why are you single, why you are struggling with women, and yeah, there are many reasons, but I'm gonna summarize them and I'm gonna give you the remedy for those. Well, it all boils down to you. Yeah, if you are not at the current dating market, if you are single, if you are struggling with women, it is all because of you. You are the problem. Well, that's only half true. And that is very easy for me to point finger just like you and say, hey, you are the bad guy, you are the fault. But that's not the whole picture. Now, to get the whole picture, you need a proper understanding of a lot of social conditioning, social dynamic, world history, psychology, all these stuff. And I'm here to simplify all those like big topics in simple words so you can understand some of the reasons of your problems with women. Now, in here I listed like 4 or 5, and number 4 it's called external stimuli. Yes, and before I get to that point, I'm gonna start listing from the important reasons. Now, let's talk about, instead of just blaming it on you, feeling guilty, feeling bad about yourself, you can broaden a little bit your mind and understand that there are some forces out of your control that brings this problem to you. It's not just you. As I said in the beginning of this video, it's about 80% you, but there are 20% in the Pareto principle, 80-20 rule. Let's say your fault is only 20%. 80% are other circumstances, or vice versa. Let's say you are only 20% of the problem or 80% of the problem. They are more because the world is not as simple as we would like to think. So now let me start listing all these external, out of your control things that brings you to your miserable dating life, dating experience, being single, being lonely, being closed into your shell, not going out, staying home, feeling bad about yourself, feeling sorry for yourself, and let me start listing those. Number 1 reason, it's called social engineering. What is social engineering? There have been books written on the topic, but the modern day man and woman are heavily influenced by something called social engineering. Yeah, where you can see these parameters. The social media, it's a perfect example of social engineering. Social engineering is a phenomenon that it's basically trying to extract energy in some form or way from you. Not only from you, but from women. And behind the social engineering, they are genius, sitting in some cubicles and offices, and they are thinking all day long how to get your attention. Now, that would become obvious once you understand, for example, how the dating apps are working. You have to go behind the scene of the apps. They are not designed to get you dates, especially if you are a man. They are designed to get dates for the top echelon, the 3 to 5% of men out there, and they are the lucky one. I hope you are one of those if you have a dating profile. Now, what to do about that? Well, go and do extensive research how to create efficient and effective dating profile. That suggestion itself will resolve one of these problems. Now, social engineering, it's a big thing. In this world of polarization, you can see the polarization everywhere. On one hand are those women that are like, you go girl, you don't need a man, you are all by yourself, you are now powerful and successful, and you forgot about all your feminine traits, and now you can do it girl. That is one of the sides, on the left or on the right, whatever. And on the other side is this MGTOW movement. Men don't need women anymore, everything is good, you just go and do your own thing. Go stick yourself in a garage, fix cars or whatever, play games, video games all day long. Well, that is devastating. But now, into this polarization, somebody is gaining a lot of power in form of money, energy, and attention. And today's world is all about attention. You know, these modern gurus, like in the business, they are saying attention first. Hey, let's say you have a big product to sell. What's the first step? Bring people's attention to your product. If you're nobody in the current marketplace, you can have the best product. You can have like a teleportation invented, but if nobody knows about it, you will be doomed in business. And that is in a dating life the same. Now, social media has a special mechanism, and these so-called social experts, social engineers, they have engineered this system for their own gain, not for the gain of the users. All right, if you know a little bit about business and how social media work, you will understand that there's all human behavior executed and extracted to the maximum. Click right, swipe left, everything is made so easy for you, that appears to be so easy, and actually it keeps you there. So some like social engineer to get his bonus paycheck or whatever. That is number one, the social engineering and the social media. Now, the results of these are as follow. If you're a man, you stand no chance, unless as one expert say, you have the 600 horsepower car, you are 6 plus 7 figures more producing income human being, you have 6 packs, you have 6 this, 6 that, you know, the magic 666. Let's say you are that guy. Well, to get there, that would take a lot of energy, which means time to gain all these things. And while you're gaining all these 6 packs, 6 horsepower, 6 income, 6-figure income, you don't have really time to focus on the women. Some of these experts in business, they have very devastating suggestions. Like they would say, hey, fix your finances first. Yeah, that's right, but half true. In one of my videos I said, fix your finances first. But that is half true. Because by the time you fix your finances, you may end up lonely. It's a tough game to be the best you can be. It's a tough game to fight with other people. We live in a rather dog-eat-dog world. That's the man world. The women world is something called like snake-eat-snake. Anyway, so now social media is designed in this way, so a few guys get all the girls because they need the attention. They don't want to put you. If you're an average Joe, if you are not in that top echelon, you have zero chance. So you have to improve. The remedy of this is study game, study text game, study dating game, study. That of course takes time. Now, this brings me to the next reason why a lot of men in their prime, let's say 19 to 30, 32, 35, they have no dating life. They live alone. in their mom's basement, or they somehow scrape some money, got themselves independent, rent an expensive apartment in the city or a house in suburbia, and they are doing their grind, they are grinding it. But again, to study, to get better with women and with dating and with social life, it's a discipline on your own. And you don't have time to that because of the second reason. The second reason is called the modern times. The modern times dictate this. Now let me give you, before I tell you the modern time, you know what the modern time is, so I don't have to give you like a full lecture. This is the modern time. Man is trying to succeed in ever more competing, more dog-eat-dog world. He's trying to strive, he's trying to make it better, and he is neglecting his social and dating and family life. Yeah? Because the competition gets more and more and more. Now, how was in the past? It's good to study history so we can understand what's going on now. Let me give you some figures that I learned from a documentary movie. And these figures was saying a man who has a proper job, let's say a mechanic in a auto shop, or a salesman, or any shitty job, a plumber or whatever. I'm not saying these jobs are shitty. I'm saying that he is not just a CEO of multi-billion-dollar company like today. I say an average man, normal job. In the 60s and in the 70s and in the 80s, when America was in its top prime, the best country in the world, this man could have support. Listen to the numbers. He could pay his mortgage, he can pay the down payment and the payments for 2 cars for him and for his wife, and he can support up to 4 kids, family. So at the end of his career, let's say before he retires, 60, he already paid off these 2 cars, he got a bunch of cars for the kids, he put the kids through education and college, and that was all possible. He paid the house, he got a second house. One man. That was in the 70s and in the 60s, when man was the breadwinner of the family, and the woman was taking home, staying in the family and making sure that this is a solid family, because the center of the family is the woman. It has been like this for thousands of years, since the family was created. Usually men go out, they bring the bread, and the woman is taking care that the proper education of the kids is, and the nurture, the power of nurturing, the nurturing power of a woman was fully implemented. Now, what is it today? A man has 3 jobs. He cannot pay his mortgage, he cannot pay his bills, he cannot pay his rent, he cannot pay his car insurance, he cannot pay any basic survival needs, let alone him going on a date and spending hundreds of dollars on a date with some unknown girl that he doesn't even know. Yeah, that's right. It's tough now for men. Now, on the other hand, what was for women in the old days? I come from the old days a little bit, you know. I'm about 50 years now. That's a record on itself. But I come from that age when man was really example of admiration, success, and because the conditions, the so-called times, was better for men. Now they are not so better. Now the men turn into a bunch of losers, and that's not totally because of their nature. Men are powerful, but the current condition, the current times are dictating to weaken the man and to empower women. Now you can hear in the social media, in the newspapers and everywhere, like, you go girl, you're the CEO, you can be a leader, you can start your own business. And yes, a few people, women, they can do that. But that is not the nature of the woman. The woman must stay soft, nice, beautiful, nurturing, feminine. You cannot put man values in woman's head, because this type of women are the worst example. And some guys start chasing these so-called business women. These business women, they usually attach themselves to a strong man, take his idea and concept and start, like playing the role of the man on their separate ways. There are many examples of this. If you go and you can see some of the modern gurus that are preaching business, they have a strong woman next to them, and in my opinion, she's a little bit too strong for this man. Yeah. Okay, just use your observation skills. If you know some of those gurus, you will see, like Donald Trump, he has a woman next to him, like this Grant Cardones and all these guys, they all have, some woman. And that is important. The woman is the center of the family. But not anymore. Another reason in the section of current times is the ever-rising feminism and feministic ideas that are propelled by, guess who? Weak men and women full of hatred. Women that hate men, women that don't like men, and they are usually trying to get these men. Oh, I see. And they are trying to there's something I just want to tell you. Something was distracting me. I'm here on the highway, something happened. So let's get back to these so-called independent women, so-called feminazis, like anything that has ending, any word in the English vocabulary that it's ending with ism is not very good to begin with. Feminism sounds like Nazism, like fascism. When something is too much exaggerated, well, it is not a good sign. But that's the current times, the current state of the modern society, is that these type of women, hating men, they're influencing the rest of the women, because women are talking to each other all day long. They talk through social media, they talk through their circles. They are a lot more talkative than men, and I said this in my channel many times. Women are a lot better communicators than men, and that is one more reason, just women are better communicators. They can communicate, they can read faces, they can read body language, they can read you like a book. It's innate in them, because they have been practicing this for thousands of years, since the Stone Age, when they was gathered around the fire. That's all they was primarily doing, communicating amongst each other and amongst the kids and the young men who was staying in the cave. And the strong man was going out there chasing the bisons and providing the food on the table. But that's no longer like this. So now the modern woman is very susceptible for these new messages. Why? Because it is actually in her life. You can see women now have more jobs than men. Women have now more privileges than men, because the reality is we still live in the patriarchal society when men want to hire women. Why it is that? Because men, especially strong men, they know a woman is better at her job as a communicator than a man. That's why all the salespeople, the best salespeople, usually women. Here I can bring a movie coming recently on Netflix. It's called Painkillers. It's a wonderful example of in the 80s how these two hot chicks became the top salespeople of the organization. But that's a whole another story. You should watch this movie if you have some drug problems. Yeah. If you have some drug drug problems, and drugs are everywhere. Oh, let me mention that. It was not even in the list, but since I mentioned that movie, now another reason of the failure of men and staying single and being again, it is this drug problem, especially in the Western society. Now, if you are in the Far East, if you are in China, if you are in Asia, if you are in, like some of those Eastern countries, drugs are no, they are taboo. But here, in the Western society, hey, here I got the crack for you, I got the pills for you, I got the methadone, I get the Oxycontin, I got all these drugs for you. And as one famous comedian, Louis C.K., was saying, how can you say no to drugs when they literally resolve all your problems? That's a powerful message. And most of the people, most of the men, they would reach to that opioid, that drug, and once they do, there's no more dating life, there's no more women, because the drugs become the primary entertainment in his life. They can live in their mind fantasizing about some hot babes while heavily intoxicated by marijuana, methadone, Oxycontin, all kinds of heroin, cracks, mracks, all this stuff. Yeah, that's another reason some of these guys are so heavily on drugs. They live in a parallel universe which is in their mind. So they have completely dissociated themselves with their body and their natural feelings and instincts, even vision, and they don't need this anymore. Now, let's get to another reason related to social media. It's called virtualization. Have you heard this? Virtualization of the physical world. We now more and more are happily ready and ever increasingly accepting the idea that we don't have to actually live in this world. Well, we can put our Google glasses, we can put our new devices that cover our vision, cut our senses, and throw us into the virtual reality. Now, a primitive way of that is the porn industry. Well, the internet is like 90% porn and 10% the rest. Do you know that? That most of the users are using the internet, I mean the man, to jerk off on some new cool chick in some new porno website, or calling a girl. This was in the 80s. In the 80s there was these hotlines where hot babes can talk to you on the phone, and just using your auditory perceptual mechanisms to bring you to erection and ejaculation and all these good stuff. So you don't have to actually do it in real life. You just pick up the phone. This was in the 80s. Now, I don't know what it is now. It's now visual. Oh, this. Oh, baby. Oh, that. You can have like almost full experience without the kinesthetic experience. Actually, you don't have the touch. But now, of course, there are some devices and some virtual new inventions that you can put goggles or some kind of thing. You can put something in your penis, and a girl there in the 3D virtual space will give you the same pleasure. You can also modify this girl in the way you like it. If you want to be curly hair, black hair, red hair, blue eyes, you can just push a few. Soon it will be all happening in your mind. You will be completely disconnected from the physical world, and you will experience the virtual reality like almost one-to-one. Elon Musk itself said that that is a proof that we actually live in a virtual reality. Yeah, that is his concept. Elon Musk's concept is this: we live in a matrix. Why is that? Because through computers and technology we are on the edge of creating our own virtual realities in our own minds through devices, computers, and technology, so we don't have to live anymore in the physical world, which is another virtual reality controlled by upper level beings or whatever, like the computer programmers of the fourth dimension. Anyway, so now more reasons for you not having dating life, staying single. It is so-called luck of game, and the proof for that is the rise of dating coaches, guys like me who are coaching and giving advice to younger men, because the younger men lack social skills, they lack dating skills, they lack game, they have a weak frame, they cannot stay strong as men, they cannot take the pressure coming from a woman because they are in the comparison game. Comparison game is this guy has a bigger car, this guy has a bigger dick, this guy has a bigger muscles, this guy, and the average person, if he is a male, he starts feeling very awkward, starts self-doubting himself, cannot believe in his own capabilities, combined with the lack of jobs on the marketplace, because that's another thing. As you can see, the struggling man phenomena is ever more increasing and growing. You hear about these guys that yesterday they had like bunch of trucks, company working for them. Sooner or later they get down to one truck, they work in that truck themselves. Going across United States, they lose their wife, the wife goes with the plumber or Jack from the accounting department, and all these things are like this, because it's getting tougher on the marketplace for men. Now, in other words, some of the reasons for you to stay single are just nothing out of your awareness. It's just the changing times makes it tougher for a man to be a man and a woman to be a woman, because some of the women wants to be successful as men and some of the men cannot compete with other men, because as I said before, in the men world is kind of tough competition. If you have a business, you are competing with a couple of companies up, 10 companies down, 3 left, 10 right. You need ingenuity, you need new skills, you have to update skills all the time. Another reason for you to stay single, it is so-called accelerating of the consciousness. People are getting ever smarter, ever more experience, and they have more leverage than you. And if you have not so-called fluid mind, open mind to receive new ideas, if you are rigid in your mind, you're gonna lose not only in the job, in the business field, also in the dating field. Now, the main reason, now let's get back to the nitty-gritty. The main reason, it is because men gave up on the concept of being in the dating pool, being not single, being a family man. They gave up this idea. Now the proof for that is so-called MGTOW movement, the red pill movement, the this pill movement. Instead of pointing at the problems and finding the solutions, which is getting better at game, getting better at your social skills, men easily gave up and they withdraw from the society. Some people went to the mountain, live like recluse, and they just are out there in the mountain living their life alone. What a pathetic life that is, Lack of woman around you, lack of social interaction with the humanity. That is a sad, sad story. But maybe for some people it's a place to realize their essence. You know, for some men that is very powerful instrument. But most of men, they look at these examples and they just totally give up. Influenced by these people that say, hey, I will go in the mountain for a couple of days or a week or a month and I will re-evaluate all my life. Maybe that's a good experience for some men, but for most of them, not good experience, because it further brings them down into this pool of events which usually end up with lack of woman next to you, lack of dating, lack of social life, lack of communication skills, lack of interaction with the opposite sex. And that is a very, very sad story for most of the men. I've heard that about 70% of the men in their prime age nowadays, I'm talking about 2020 to 2023, these are recent studies, about 70% of the strong men in their prime, they don't have to be necessarily strong, I mean like men in their prime, they have no girlfriend or they have no even fuck buddy, they have no wife, they just going to the struggle and going through the grind, trying to fight with this world. They are lonely. As I said before, the best way for you to be successful is to surround yourself with a beautiful woman who can nurture your good side, you know, so you can be balanced, not be like super tough, super strong. Yeah, these are good qualities, but you need a little bit of a balance. For that balance to happen, you need a woman next to you. Hey, that might be even a temporary, but if you're a guy, you know how good you feel in the presence of women. And that's our nature. The human nature is to be together, to be coupled, to be, you know, like having interactions with the opposite sex. I know it's tough for men, and now it's even tougher for women. Now let's talk about women and the rise of the social media. And I said this, the main reason is because they are social engineers behind the scenes that are dictating your life and events of your life on a subconscious level, and you don't even know about these people. You don't even know that these people exist, staying some cubicles in some offices, most likely in some gurus in Park Avenue, New York City, and they are tinkering all day long how to glue your face to that device, that phone, that you are constantly attached to it. And if you lose your phone, you feel like you lost your life. Have you noticed that? You know, that people nowadays, if they lose their phone, because everything goes through the phone. So the social engineers know very well, and they use every little tool to glue your face to the phone instead of to glue your face to some beautiful breast. Did I say that nice? Yeah, that's the reality, my friend. So these people behind the scenes, they are dictating your behavior. You have no idea what's going on, and you can see they not only do it to you but also to the women. Now think about that. A woman in her 40s who is like relatively beautiful, I would say, let's say all she needs to be 4 out of 10, if you know this terminology. She needs to be 4 out of 10. This woman can make fortune if she has a little brain in her head and she has pretty nice face. Even in her 40s, she can make tons of money through outlets such as fan only, whatever was that application, fan-only application, where these applications are designed I will repeat again why they are designed. They are not designed for that woman to make money. They are designed to distract men of the importance of life, so they can glue their face and giving these compliments to these girls that just happen to be there, you know, for the tools. The tools are all there. So let me summarize it through a business perspective so you can get it. There is this platform called Fan Only or OnlyFans, and they are in cahoots with the girls against you, my friend, and you're the patsy. Yeah, you're the patsy. So now, in one of these business lectures, I've used a quote, and the quote simply say, in a business meeting or in a business situation, if you don't know who the patsy is, that means you are the patsy. So now let me explain through a business concept. There's two partners in that business: Fan Only, the platform, and the girl, and you're the victim. You're clapping, you're giving the hearts, you're saying, honey, 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 I love you, show me your boobs, show me this. And the girl, even in her 40s, even in not so beautiful, all he does like this, and she makes a few dollars. And what do? What you are getting out of that? Zero. Nada. You just jerk off home, do nothing, and live in your dream. Now the remedy for that is to sign up with guys like me. There are plenty of coaching people there, dating coach. They will teach you. I'm not saying that I will be the one. I do have my own program. There are many other programs. Sign up with these guys. Hey, and learn the game. In essence, if you don't learn the game, if you don't learn the rules of the game, if you don't learn the intricacies of the game, if you don't learn the details of the game, you will be played non-stop by all these reasons: the feminism, the social media, the resentment of women towards men, the social engineering, the tough marketplace, the lack of job for men, and more job opportunities for women, even in the field that usually has been always men. I'm not criticizing that. I'm not saying this is bad. Women should have equal right to go to any job position that they desire. But for some job positions, they are not just cut. It's not their nature to deal with some of these things, because physically, emotionally, and physiologically and psychologically, women are not built for a specific job. On the same token, men are not built for a specific job. They cannot go and being a nurse in a nursing home, and they cannot be a nurturing in a kindergarten. Yeah, you don't want your kid, especially your daughter, to be nurtured by some Uncle John or some Uncle James. Yeah, that would not be right. Yeah, you want your kid to be nurtured by a woman. So that's why, you know, some of the jobs are more prone to women and some of the jobs are more prone to men. But after all, I can extract all this talk about men and women, and I can tell you that the main reason for your failure, it is this: first, you gave up on dating activity; two, you became single. You have been single for too long. I hope you're not that guy. Hey, I hope you have a woman next to you. I hope you have a beautiful girl, or something in going on for you, some potential girl, or you have a Rolodex of a few girls that you're chasing, or a few girls that chases you, which is what you're gonna learn if you sign up with my channel. Yeah, of course. You will sign up with this channel and you can learn a few good methodologies to get better with women. And that's why the rise of guys like me, older men who are giving lessons to younger guys how to be more successful with women. Yeah, that comes with practice. First, 2, repetition. 3, understanding. 4, study. Study the theory, study the mechanics, study the practice, study on field. Yes, and you will be more successful. But these are basically the reasons for you to stay single. It's not your fault, my friend. It's not only you wrong. Where you messed up is the little part that you kind of gave up. You gave up, and that is not good for you. Because when you give up, well, there's no hope. Yeah. But if you did not give up, if you see some silver lining in that tunnel of disaster, which may be your life, I hope it's not, but it may be, and I know a lot of men are now struggling. I'm kind of empathetic to this man. Yeah? Poor them. But what they can do, sign up with this kind of talks, understand the reasons, and fight against the reasons. Fine. First, what you should do is to understand the big picture, because our ego, it's pointing at usually one or two or few directions. We don't see the whole variety of all factors, and here I am to help you a little bit, if I can say this strong word, to enlighten you a little bit about that is not all your fault, that you are single, have no girlfriend, have no wife, and you are in that. It's not only you, but the bigger part for you to understand is that, hey, these societal changes, they're gonna continue rising. Women will be more and more successful. Online dating will be more and more prevalent. Social media will rise to a ways. Now I'm hearing like the Facebook is introducing this metaverse and all this stuff. Imagine what's going to happen. People will totally disconnect from each other. Once this happens, it will be virtual avatars, it will be virtual sex dolls, it will be all this. Even the real sex will be transplanted in the matrix. In the matrix, all you gotta do is give me $10, push this button, and you're gonna have sex with you. In your mind, not through your body, they will attach some kind of sensor or maybe some thing in the brain. Like I have this device here, it's in my car. I can show you some other day. This device, it's a mind wave device, literally can read my mind. I can control this phone with the device. Soon it will be the other thing going on. This device will be able through internet to control my brain. Because in the hands of these social engineers, we are just a bunch of pawns, victims, and we have to fight against them. Not fight physically against them, but just by fighting this matrix, by understanding who you are, what is your essence, what are your powers, and trust me, we are all unique. You are unique human being, you are unique man, and if you are a woman listening this, yes, you are a unique woman for sure. Nobody can duplicate your life, your experiences, and anything. That's your human uniqueness, your perspective. And guess what? If you're a man, some woman would be fascinated with that uniqueness. Maybe you are overweight, you are like too short, a little bald, but hey, there will be a lot of women that would love to share your uniqueness, and probably you will be able to share their uniqueness to form a good, lasting, and fulfilling relationship. And that is my advice for you today. This is a long video. I have a long ride from far away, somewhere from the middle of New Jersey to the big city, the big capital, New York City. So I'm going there. So I decided, hey, why not list those reasons? As I said, the Pareto principle always works. All you have to find out, is it your part, the 80% fault, or you are only 20% not doing the right thing? Because, as I said, these things will continue. It will be more polarization between the sexes. It will be more extreme feminism. It will be more or less jobs. More automating. Robots will be taking away job from men, and not only from men, but from women. So, as one spiritual guru once said, what we will do with all these people when there are no jobs? The coming no job era, it's coming. Yeah, there will be other jobs, but they will be different jobs, not the standard jobs that we have now. A driver, a salesperson, a mechanic, everything soon, everything that is made by the hand of the man will be able to be done by the hand of the robot. So now, most of these physical jobs, guess who will struggle first? Of course, men, because they are in the real physical world. Men are actually more attached to the physical world than women. Women are more attached to the emotional world, to the communication world, to the social fabric, sort of speak. Yeah? But men are tough guys. They are grounded to earth. They like simple things. Like, just observe what men like. They like the garage, they like the grass, they like the tree, they like to chop woods, they like to get their hands dirty. Women don't like these things. Women likes completely the opposite things. They don't like to go in the garage to get their hands dirty, to cut the grass. No, they like to socialize. And in the rise of AI, guess which jobs would be removed first? Delivery people. If you're a man in the delivery business, if you're like a biker, yesterday I was in, 2-3 days ago I was in New York, and I saw one restaurant in the prime location, Times Square, New York City. It had 11 delivery apps. That was a one pizza place with 11, and I was like, wow. These guys, this pizza place is actually working for these 11 applications. These 11 apps, they have nothing to do but to offer marketing and exploiting the restaurant in one hand and exploiting the delivery guys. I remember when I had my own restaurants like 10 years ago in Manhattan, I had my own delivery guys. I was able to communicate on a daily basis and provide them with very good money. Now, all these guys are bitching and complaining because they have no outlet to cry out their pain. Because the application every day brings you a little bit less money for the same order that you did yesterday, because the application has fiduciary responsibilities to the owners and to the investors, not to the delivery guys. So, guess what's gonna happen? As soon as the drone comes, which they came in certain states, there's no more delivery guys. Everything is by the drones. And these delivery people, and these truck drivers, and all these drivers that actually are physical work. You need your mind, you need your vision, you need your hearing, you need to pay attention on the road. Yeah, these jobs will be all wiped out in the next 5 to 10 years. I've watched some research on the self-driving industry, car, and they're, Uber, Tesla, and all these companies are spending billions, multiple $1 billion of creating this new wonder, which is available right now in certain states. By the way, by the time I'm saying this video, like right now, some Uber car picking up somebody in Arizona, in some other states that they are allowed already. So guess what's gonna happen? All these things will eat up the job of men first. Well, later on, women. So don't live under a rock. See that the world is basically changing and adapt. Now, another reason that I forgot to mention is your own lack thereof. A lack of fluidity and adaptability, flexible thinking, and most of men, they become too rigid. They don't want to change their ways. They want to stay the same. And the world is changing. The world is changing increasingly, exponentially, to say. You see? A proof of that is that the new billion-dollar company will be like 2 or 3 man company. You know, all of a sudden you're gonna start hearing these two guys yesterday out of, you know, like the common Bill Gates story, or Steve Wozniak, or the Apple story. A few guys started in a garage, and in 20 years they have the marketplace of the world. They are the #1 company, like the iPhone. Now this will be happening faster and faster, and more and often and more often and more often. There will be new CEOs that nobody knew they was existing yesterday, and in a shorter period of time they will be able to create more wealth, because now we are moving from the age of, you know, like we live in the information age, but actually we are no longer living the information age. Now we live in the age of applied knowledge. It's a new age. How to apply all this data, all this knowledge, and guess who is doing that? The AI. The artificial intelligence that is all in your phone, listening to your conversation, knowing exactly your thinking patterns, knowing your driving patterns, knowing your behavior patterns, and that would be one more nail in the coffin against you. As I started in the beginning of this conversation, I hope you are here. Social engineering to its best. Now, how do I know these things? Well, partially by experience, partially by studying, partially by being very curious. And if you are more into this kind of stuff, I recommend to you to look onto some document that has been published in the 70s and the 50s and the 60s. That is a peculiar document to understand about this so-called social engineering. It's a document, or probably YouTube video. It's called Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars Waged Against You. Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. And you will see how far back in the past this social engineering has been created. This is starting like from the Illuminati time with Adam Weishaupt, 1776. Nearly 300 years this has been constructed, yeah? And we are all somewhat the victims. Unless you know these things, you will be harmed, my friend. So, that's my take on today's topic. Why men stay single. Why men increasingly cannot deal with reality. Not with women, with their own reality. That's what I want to stress here. That's what I want to emphasize. It's harder and harder for men to deal with their own realities. It's not that simple. The world is not that simple nowadays. There's too much information coming to your brain through your visual cortex, through your smells, through your senses, and especially, well, I can simplify this by giving you just one tip. You want to increase your dating capabilities. You want to get a little bit of flirting skills. Do it in your real life. Forget about these applications. Forget about these dating apps. They are all against you. You're the patsy there. The app plus the women, designed by women. By the way, one of the apps is designed by a woman. A Bumble CEO, it's a woman. So she knows very well how to maneuver into this social engineering world. If you know the mechanisms of these apps, I can tell you, you will quit in a heartbeat. And you will actually go in the real life interacting with real women, and no matter how good you are, you will see 100% better results than wasting your life in some fan-only you-porn, shmoo-porn, and Instagram, InstaChat, all these women. You know, I want to mention something here. I want to bring you an example of my personal life. Not personal life, but my business personal life. I have a few little companies, and they are online. One of them is online products called tshirtstatement.com. It's an online store for t-shirts. And in the real world, I met some of these influencers in the female form. They had one of them had 100,000 followers in Instagram. The other one, she was a beautiful girl. She had about 500,000 followers, and two other girls had over 2 million followers on Instagram. And in real life, I talked to them and I told them about they can become affiliate and earn some money through my products. And they said yes in the initial meeting, but once they went back online, I never heard of them. So these girls that have the hundreds, even once they get over 2,000-3,000 followers in the social media, forget about them. You're just wasting your energy communicating to them, unless you have some game. But I'm telling you, I was not after these girls in a sexual way. I was actually trying to give them some business and to make business with them, and in which business they can benefit and I can benefit. But even though I was offering even business opportunity for them, hey, they did not respond to me forever. With one of them I had a brief communication till I proposed the opportunity, and there was a few things she had to do. He actually had to go to my affiliate marketing program and sign up with this, but hey, that was too much for her to do that, because hey, takes energy to sign up a form and to put your information there and to start actually doing something. Why she would do that when thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of men give her attention, money, respect, and money? Why she has to work, you see? That's the moral of the story, my friend. Get wiser, learn the game, sign up with my channel, and my channel is designed, unfortunately, for a guy like you. If you are listening this channel, it means to me that you have some kind of struggle, and if you are at the end of this video, I hope you'll learn something through this nearly 1 hour. Should I call this coaching session? No, that's not any coaching session. That is just bringing your awareness to a higher level for you to understand how other factors out of your awareness and factors that has nothing even to do with you can help you to bring you down, to have no sexual life, to have no dating life, to have no social skills. Yeah? Don't be that guy. Change the way you are and everything will change for you. Now, I know this is tough. Why? Because you already have enough struggle at your job, at your social circle. So now, extra job. Oh my God, I gotta study game, I gotta study this, I have to study how to communicate with women, I have to become an expert on how to pick up women. Well, unfortunately you have no choice. Otherwise the choice is clear. You're staying where you are right now, jerking off, watching some porn, paying some girl in Instagram some money, or donating to OnlyFans page to some of your dream girls, but that gets you nothing. And it just will bring you down. Will bring you down because you will collect bunch of regrets that will later on you will realize, and it will be too soon, and it will be too late for you. And here I am, your old boy Ivan, to give you a little bit of wisdom how to navigate with the modern day society. I have tons of books to recommend you, a lot of books. If you're in business, well, that's good. Maybe you should sign up with my other channel. It's called Business Karma. That is about some business tools. But here, in this channel, it's strictly be a A player or be played. I wish you good luck. I wish you a lot of dating experience. If you're a young guy, it's time for you to start. If you're an older man, you can still do it. If you are older man, hey, your value is actually going up like right now. Here I am to tell you the truth. Sign up, enjoy, and let's have a great day.